I signed the marriage contract with a pen that cost more than my entire education. My hand didn't shake. I'd made harder decisions before, like the one 3 years ago that left me raising my daughter alone. You understand the terms? The alpha across from me didn't look up from his own papers. Dante Cross, 32, self-made tech mogul, and according to the gossip sites, incapable of maintaining any relationship longer than 6 months. I understand that your family needs my pharmaceutical research and my family needs your distribution network, I said, and that we have exactly 1 year to produce an heir or both our families lose everything to the merger clause. That made him look up. His eyes were gray, like storm clouds. You're very direct. I have a 4-year-old daughter who asks me every night when we can stop living in my parents' house. I said, I don't have time for games. Something flickered across his face. Surprise, maybe. The contract didn't mention a child. The contract mentioned an Omega from the Morrison family with a doctorate in biochemistry. I replied, That's me. The rest is none of your concern unless you make it your concern. He set down his pen. Slowly. I have a son. He's 6. The room went absolutely silent. Even the lawyers stopped rustling papers. The contract. One of them started. The contract says we need to produce an heir together. Dante interrupted, his eyes never leaving mine. It doesn't say we can't already have children, does it, Dr. Morrison? I felt my lips curve into something that wasn't quite a smile. No, it doesn't. Then we have an understanding. He signed his name with brutal efficiency. We'll marry next month. Move into the estate. Play the perfect couple for the cameras. And in private, we parent our own children and stay out of each other's way. Agreed. If you're enjoying this already, hit that like button and drop a comment telling me what you think so far. Now back to the story. What I didn't tell him was that my daughter's father was his business partner. What he didn't tell me was that his son's mother had been my graduate school roommate. We'd both learned those details in exactly 17 days, at the engagement party, when both our exes walked in together holding hands. But that morning, signing the contract, we were just 2 strangers making a calculated business decision. I gathered my papers, stood, and extended my hand. Professional. Clean. His grip was firm. Warm. And when our skin touched, his scent hit me like a physical blow. Cedar. Rain. Something dark and complex underneath that made my Omega instincts scream in 3 different directions at once. Run. Submit. Claim. I pulled my hand back fast. Problem. His voice was carefully neutral, but his pupils had dilated. Scent blockers, I said shortly. I'll need you to wear them. I don't do the biology thing. Neither do I. But his jaw was tight. I'll have them sent to you as well. I nodded and walked out, willing my heart to stop racing. This was a business arrangement. The scent compatibility meant nothing. The way my skin still tingled where he'd touched me meant nothing. I'd loved once. Loved enough to let myself be vulnerable, to believe in forever, to create a life with someone. And he'd walked away the day I told him I was pregnant. Said he wasn't ready to be tied down to an Omega with a child. Never again. My daughter, Maya, was waiting in my parents' garden when I got home. She was drawing with chalk. Her dark hair pulled into uneven pigtails she'd insisted on doing herself. Mama! She jumped up, nearly tripping over her own feet. Did you get us a house? I knelt down, pulled her close. She smelled like strawberries and sunshine. Better. We're getting a whole estate, with a garden bigger than this one. And your own room. Will there be other kids? My chest tightened. Yes, actually. A boy. He's a little older than you. What's his name? I don't know yet, baby. I'll find out. What I also didn't know was that Dante's son, Phoenix, was selective mute. That he hadn't spoken a word since his mother left 2 years ago. That Dante spent every night reading to a child who couldn't respond, hoping for just one word. I'd learned that at the wedding, when Phoenix walked down the aisle as ring bearer and Maya whispered too loudly, Mama, why doesn't he talk? And I saw Dante's expression crack for just a second before the mask returned. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment letting me know. Have you figured out who the exes are yet? because the reveal is coming and it's going to be intense. The engagement party was exactly as terrible as I'd expected. Fake smiles. Champagne I couldn't drink because I was still on suppressants. Omegas whispering behind their hands about the Morrison family's desperation, marrying off their used son to salvage the company. I was standing by the balcony, seriously considering jumping, when I caught a familiar scent. Jasmine. Vanilla. No. I turned, and there she was. Sienna, my roommate from grad school. The person who'd held my hair when I had morning sickness. Who'd helped me name Maya. Who'd disappeared from my life 3 years ago with barely an explanation. She looked good. Designer dress. Diamond earrings. And her hand tucked into the arm of Jackson, Maya's father. My ex-fiancé. The man who'd told me he'd never wanted to be a father. That I'd trapped him. That he needed to find himself. Apparently, he'd found himself. With my former best friend, Adrian. Sienna's voice was soft, apologetic. I didn't know you'd be here. Jackson said this was a business function for Dante's company. The pieces clicked into place with sickening clarity. Jackson was Dante's business partner. Sienna was Dante's ex-wife, the mother of his son. We'd all been connected this whole time, and none of us had known. Someone explain. Dante's voice came from behind me, cold and sharp as a blade. Right now. Jackson had the audacity to look uncomfortable. This is awkward. Awkward. I heard my voice go deadly quiet. The tone I used in the lab when an experiment was about to explode. You left me pregnant and alone 3 years ago, and you think this is awkward? Sienna's face went white. Pregnant? Jackson, you said. You told me there was no one serious, that you'd ended things cleanly. There is a child? Dante's hand was suddenly on my arm. Not controlling. Grounding. Jackson. There is a child and you never. I didn't know he'd actually keep it, Jackson said. And the room went very, very quiet. I felt Dante's fingers tighten on my arm. Felt the spike in his scent. Sharp with fury. Even through the blockers. Get out, Dante said softly. Both of you. Now. Before I do something that ends up in the news. Dante, be reasonable, Sienna started. The mother of my son abandoned him to run off with the man who abandoned Adrian's daughter. His voice was still soft, still deadly. Reasonable left the building the moment you walked in together. Get out. They left. The party was over, and I was standing on a balcony with my future husband. Both of us breathing too hard. Both of us realizing the same horrible truth. This wasn't going to be simple. Hit that like button and subscribe if your heart is racing right now. Drop a comment with your reaction because we're just getting started. We didn't speak on the drive home. I went to my parents' house. Dante went to his. The wedding was in 2 weeks, and neither of us contacted the other for 5 days. When he finally called, his voice was rough. Tired. Phoenix asked about Maya. I sat down. What did he ask? He wrote it on his tablet. Is the girl going to be my sister? My throat tightened. What did you tell him? I told him yes, that we'd be a family. And then he wrote something else. Dante paused. He wrote, good. I've always wanted a sister. Mama said no. Maya asked me if the boy who doesn't talk would like her. I said quietly. She's worried he'll think she's too loud. Phoenix likes music, Dante said. He might like loud. We were quiet for a moment. I'm not good at this, Dante said finally. The personal thing. I'm good at business. The strategy. At keeping my son safe and making sure he has everything he needs. But the rest. I'm not good at it either, I admitted. I'm good at science. At being Maya's mother. At keeping my walls up so high no one can hurt us again. But partnership? Trust? I failed at that once already. So did I. Another pause. What if we just tried? Dante's voice was careful. Not the fake marriage thing. Not pretending. Just actually tried to be partners. Co-parents. Build something real. Real is terrifying, I said. I know. Real means being vulnerable. I know that too. And if it fails, it won't fail our kids, Dante interrupted. Whatever happens between us, we don't fail them. That's the one promise I can make. I closed my eyes. Okay. Okay. Let's try. The wedding was small. Just family. Maya wore a white dress with flowers and held Phoenix's hand down the aisle. He didn't speak, but he smiled at her. A real smile that made Dante's breath catch. I wore blue. Traditional Omegas wore white, but I'd stopped being traditional the day I chose to raise my daughter alone. Dante wore gray, like his eyes. When the officiant asked if I took this alpha as my husband, I looked at Dante and saw the same terror I felt reflected back. I do, I said. I do, he echoed. We didn't kiss. We shook hands. Professional. Clean. Except his hand lingered a second too long, and his thumb brushed across my wrist where my pulse was racing. Like and subscribe if you're invested, and comment below telling me what you think is going to happen next. Because the wedding night, you're about to find out. The estate was massive. Modern. All glass and clean lines and space. So much space after years of cramped quarters in my parents' house. Maya ran through every room, her laughter echoing off the high ceilings. Phoenix followed her silently, his tablet tucked under his arm, occasionally typing something that made her giggle. Your room is there. Dante pointed to the left wing. Mine is there. He pointed right. The kids are between us. Connected suites so they can reach either of us at night. You planned this. I plan everything. He set down my bags. There's a lab in the basement, state of the art, for your research, and an office next to mine for when you need to work on the business side. I stared at him. You built me a lab? You're a biochemist. You need a lab. He said it like it was obvious. Also, there's a library. Maya mentioned she likes books. Your heat is in 6 weeks, he said quietly. According to the medical records in the contract. My face burned. That's not. We don't have to. I know. But the contract says we need an heir within a year. And heats are complicated without a partner. I've managed alone before. I'm sure you have. His voice was gentle. But you're not alone anymore. So here's what I propose. We have 6 weeks to figure out if we can trust each other. Really trust each other. And then you decide what you want to happen. You're in control. Always. I looked up at him. At this alpha who'd built me a lab, who read to a silent child every night, who'd thrown his business partner out for hurting me. Okay. I whispered. 6 weeks. He smiled. Actually smiled. Transformed his entire face. 6 weeks, he agreed. That night I couldn't sleep. I walked the hallways of this massive house that was now mine. Peeked in on Maya who was sprawled across her new bed like a starfish. Phoenix's door was cracked open. The light was on. I knocked softly. He looked up from his tablet, eyes wide. Can't sleep either? I asked quietly. He shook his head. I sat on the edge of his bed. Maya really likes you. She told me at bedtime that you're the best big brother ever. His face lit up. He typed rapidly on his tablet, then showed me. She's not scared of me? Scared? Phoenix, she's enchanted. She thinks you're mysterious and cool. Cool? So cool. She told me she wants to learn sign language, so she can talk to you even when you don't have your tablet. His eyes filled with tears. He typed again. My mom said I was broken, that she couldn't fix me so she had to leave. Oh God. I pulled him into a hug, felt his thin shoulders shake. You're not broken. You're exactly who you're supposed to be. And your dad loves you so much. And Maya thinks you're perfect. And my voice cracked. I think you're pretty amazing too. He held on to me like I was a life raft. When I finally got him settled and asleep, I found Dante standing in the hallway. His face was wet. You heard, I said. Yeah. His voice was rough. Thank you. For what? For seeing him. Really seeing him. We stood there in the dark hallway, between our children's rooms, and something shifted. Something fundamental. Adrian, Dante said quietly, I think I'm going to fall in love with you. My heart stopped. That's not part of the contract, I whispered. I know. He reached out, tucked a strand of hair behind my ear. But I don't think I can stop it. Dante, you don't have to say anything. I just wanted you to know. 6 weeks. That's what we agreed. But I'm telling you now, by the end of 6 weeks, I'm going to be completely gone for you. He walked away, left me standing there, my heart racing, my Omega instinct screaming, everything I'd built to protect myself crumbling. Like, subscribe and comment below. Are you Team Dante or Team Run? Because week 1 is about to get complicated. Week 1 was domestic chaos. Maya taught Phoenix a clapping game. Phoenix taught Maya how to code basic games on his tablet. They were inseparable. Dante and I circled each other like cautious animals. Coffee in the morning, small talk, careful not to touch. But the touches happened anyway. His hand on my lower back guiding me through a doorway. My fingers brushing his when we both reached for the coffee pot. Small moments that felt enormous. On day 4, my lab equipment arrived. I spent hours unpacking, organizing, finally in my element. Dante found me there at midnight, surrounded by beakers and microscopes. "You're happy," he observed. "This is my dream setup," I admitted. "I've never had access to equipment this good. Show me what you're working on." So I did. For 2 hours, I explained my research on omega-specific suppressants that didn't cause long-term hormonal damage. He asked intelligent questions, actually understood the science. "This could change everything for omegas," he said finally. "Give them real choices. That's the goal. I want to fund it. Fully. Not through the company. Personally." I stared at him. "Dante, this research is worth millions in investment. I have millions, and I want them going toward this. Toward giving omegas like you real autonomy." He met my eyes. "No strings. Whether we work out or not, this research happens." "Why?" "Because you're brilliant and this matters and—" He stopped. Started again. "Because Sienna leaving Phoenix was the best thing that ever happened to him. But she did it because she felt trapped by omega biology. If your research had existed, maybe she could have made that choice before having a child. Maybe Phoenix wouldn't have abandonment issues. You're not angry at her anymore," I realized. "I'm angry at a system that makes omegas feel like they have no choice. That's what I'm angry at." I stood, moved closer to him. "You're not what I expected. Neither are you." His hand came up, cupped my face. "Can I kiss you?" "That's not part of the contract." "Forget the contract. Can I kiss you because I want to? Because you're standing here covered in science and talking about changing the world, and you're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." I should have said no. Should have kept my walls up. "Yes," I whispered. He kissed me soft, gentle, like I was precious instead of a means to an end. When he pulled back, we were both breathing hard. "Week 1, he said roughly. "We still have 5 weeks. Dante." But I meant what I said. "I'm falling. And I don't think I can stop." He left me in my lab, heart racing, everything changing. That weekend, we took the kids to the park. Normal. Domestic. Maya pushed Phoenix on the swings. He laughed. No sound. But his face was pure joy. "They're good for each other," Dante said, standing beside me. "They are. Like us." I looked at him. "Are we good for each other?" "I think we could be, if we let ourselves." A woman approached us, Omega by her scent. Familiar somehow. Dante Cross. She smiled, predatory. "I heard you finally got married." "How domestic." Dante went very still beside me. "Camilla," he said, his voice flat. "You know her?" I asked quietly. "She's the one who introduced me to Sienna," Dante said. "And the one who told Sienna I was sterile. That Phoenix wasn't mine." The world tilted. "What?" I breathed. Camilla's smile widened. "Oh, he didn't tell you? Dante's infertile. Has been since a childhood illness. Phoenix isn't his biological son. Sienna had an affair with Jackson, got pregnant, and I helped her pass the baby off as Dante's." I looked at Dante. His face was pale, rigid. "Is this true?" I asked. "Phoenix is my son," Dante said firmly. "Biology doesn't change that." "But Jackson—" I couldn't breathe. "Jackson is Phoenix's biological father?" "Yes." Dante's jaw was tight. I found out 2 years ago. Same time Sienna left. She confessed everything. Said she couldn't keep lying. That Jackson wanted to be part of Phoenix's life and she wanted to be with him. So the engagement party was the first time I'd seen Jackson since I punched him and told him to stay away from my son. Dante's hands were shaking. Sienna wanted joint custody. Wanted Phoenix to know his real father. I fought her in court. Won full custody. And Phoenix hasn't spoken since. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment because this story just went somewhere you did not expect. Camilla was still standing there, enjoying the devastation she'd caused. And here you are, she purred, looking at me. The rebound Omega. Does he know your secret, Adrian? Does he know who Maya's father really is? Get away from my family, Dante said, his voice dangerous. Now, family? That's rich. You're raising Jackson's bastard son, and now you've married his ex-Omega. I moved fast, got in her face. Leave, I said quietly. Before I make you leave. She laughed. You? What are you going to do? I'm going to sue you for defamation, for starters. Then I'm going to ruin you so thoroughly you'll never show your face in this city again. My voice was ice. I'm a Morrison. We own half the pharmaceutical companies in this region. And my new husband owns the other half's distribution. You'll never work again. Your family will never work again. By the time I'm done, you'll be begging to leave. Her face went pale. You can't. Try me. She left. I turned to find Dante staring at me. That was, he started. I need to tell you something, I interrupted. My heart was pounding. About Maya's father. You don't have to. I do. Because you deserve the truth. All of it. I took a breath. Jackson was my fiancé. We were together for 3 years. I got pregnant. He said he wasn't ready. That he felt trapped. That he needed to find himself. He left. 2 weeks later, I saw him with Sienna at a restaurant. They'd been having an affair for 6 months. My best friend and my fiancé. And I had to raise Maya alone while they played happy couple. Dante's expression was unreadable. And now, I continued, my voice breaking, I find out he's also Phoenix's father, that we've both been, that our children are actually siblings, Dante finished. Maya and Phoenix are half-siblings. We stared at each other. This is insane, I whispered. This is a nightmare. We should end this. Annul the marriage. Before. No, Dante grabbed my hands. No. Listen to me. I don't care about Jackson. I don't care about Sienna. I don't care about biology. Phoenix is my son. Period. And Maya is your daughter. Period. And we're trying to build something real here. But the kids? Should we tell them? That Jackson abandoned both of them? That he chose neither of them? No. His grip tightened. We protect them. We give them what he couldn't. Parents who actually want them. They're going to find out eventually. Maybe. But not from us. Not now. Let them be kids. Let them be siblings who love each other without the weight of knowing their biological father rejected them both. I was crying now. I'm so angry. At all of them. At Sienna and Jackson and Camilla and everyone who hurt our kids. So am I. He pulled me close. So let's be angry together. Let's build something so good that it erases every bit of pain they caused. I looked up at him. You still want this? Knowing everything? Especially knowing everything. His thumb brushed my tears away. Because now I know we're the same. We've both been abandoned. Both been betrayed. Both built our lives around protecting our kids. And maybe that's exactly why this can work. Like this video and comment below if you saw any of this coming. Subscribe if you haven't already because we're only at week 2 and there's still so much more. Week 2 was harder. The revelation about Jackson hung over everything. But weirdly, it also brought Dante and I closer. We were honest now. No more careful circling. I hate him, I said one night. We were in the library, kids asleep, sharing whiskey. I hate that he gets to exist in the world while our kids carry the weight of his abandonment. I fantasize about killing him, Dante admitted. I have the skills. could make it look like an accident. But Phoenix would somehow know. Kids always know. Maya asks about him sometimes. Asks why her daddy didn't want her. What do you tell her? That some people aren't ready to be parents. That it's not her fault. That she's loved. I swallowed hard. But I don't know if she believes me. Dante was quiet for a moment. Phoenix stopped talking the day Sienna told him she was leaving. She sat him down, said she couldn't be his mother anymore, that she needed to be with someone else. And he just went silent, like something broke. God, Dante, I've tried everything. Therapy, specialists. Nothing works. He types. He communicates. But his voice. Dante's hands shook. I miss his voice. I moved closer, took his hand. They're going to be okay, I said. Both of them, because they have us. You're sure about this? About us? No, I was honest. I'm terrified, but I'm trying. He lifted my hand, kissed my palm. That's all I ask. The heat suppressants failed on week 3. I woke up burning, sweating, every nerve ending on fire. I knew what it was immediately, early heat triggered by stress and proximity to an alpha I was compatible with. No. We still had 3 weeks. I wasn't ready. I stumbled to the bathroom, locked the door, tried cold water. It didn't help. My phone rang. Dante's name. Don't come to my wing, I gasped. I'm in heat. It's early. I need to handle this alone. Adrian, listen to me. No. We agreed. 6 weeks. Control. You need medical attention if your suppressants failed this badly. His voice was firm. This isn't normal. Let me call a doctor. No doctors. Just give me time. I'll handle it. How? How are you going to handle a full heat alone in a locked bathroom while our kids are in the house? He was right. God, he was right. I don't know, I whispered. I don't know. I'm coming to your door. Not in. Just outside. So you know you're not alone. I heard his footsteps. Heard him settle outside the bathroom door. Talk to me, Dante said quietly. Anything. Keep your mind occupied. This is humiliating, I managed. It's biology. Nothing to be ashamed of. I feel like I'm dying. I know. Heats without a partner are brutal. He paused. But you're strong. You've done this before. Not like this. Never this intense. That's the compatibility. Our sense mesh. It makes the biology worse. I leaned against the door. He was right on the other side. Tell me something. Distract me. Phoenix wrote something yesterday. On his tablet. What? He wrote Adrian is nice to me like a real mom would be. My heart cracked. He said that. He's been typing more. About you. About how you listen. How you don't treat him like he's broken. How you're teaching him about science. I love him, I realized. God, Dante. I love your son. I know. And I love your daughter. She makes Phoenix laugh. Actual laughing, even without sound. She's magic. We were quiet. Dante, I whispered. I can't do this alone. What do you need? You. I need you. But I'm terrified. Of what? Of needing you. Of letting you in. Of you leaving like everyone else. I won't leave. You can't promise that. Yes, I can. His voice was fierce. Because I've fallen. Completely. And I don't leave people I love. Love. He said love. Don't say that. I breathed. Don't say that when I'm like this, when I can't think straight. Then I'll say it again when you're clear-headed. And again after that. Until you believe me. The heat was getting worse. Overwhelming. Dante. I sobbed. Please. I can't. Open the door. I'll hurt you. Attack you. The heat. I can handle myself. Open the door, Adrian. Let me help. My hand reached for the lock before my brain could stop it. The door opened. Dante stood there, eyes dark, jaw tight. You're sure? No. But do it anyway. Subscribe, like, and comment telling me what you think happens next because this is about to get intense. He carried me to my bed. Gentle. Reverent. even though I was burning up, clawing at him, desperate. Easy, he murmured. We're doing this right. Right? There's no right way. Yes, there is. He set me down. You're in control. Even now. Even like this. You say stop, I stop. You say slower, I slow down. Your heat doesn't override your consent. Do you understand? I stared at him through the haze of need. Who are you? Someone who respects you, even when your biology is screaming. His hand cupped my face. So tell me what you need. I couldn't say it. Say it. I need you to claim me. Fully. Heat bond me. Make it so I'm yours. Not just for the heat? No, the truth poured out. Because I'm falling too. And I'm tired of being afraid. And I want this. Want you. Want us. His eyes closed. When they opened, they were burning. You're sure? Yes. Because there's no going back from a heat bond. You understand that? It's permanent. Biological. We'll be tied together forever. I know. And you still want it? I want it because it's you, I whispered. Because you built me a lab and you protect our kids and you stand outside bathroom doors and you make me feel safe for the first time in years. He kissed me. Deep. Claiming. What happened next was heat and need and something deeper. Connection. Trust. The heat bond forming between us like a bridge. And when he bit me, marked me, claimed me, I felt it. Felt our sense merge. Felt the bond snap into place. Felt complete for the first time in my life. 2 days later, I woke up exhausted, marked, and bonded to Dante Cross. He was already awake, watching me. Hey, he said softly. Hey, regrets. I touched the bond mark on my neck. Felt the echo of him through it. No, you, never. I sat up. The kids are fine. Phoenix kept Maya busy. Made her breakfast. They've been playing games. He smiled. Apparently Phoenix taught her how to code a dancing cat app. I laughed. Actually laughed. That's the most Phoenix thing I've ever heard. They're good kids. They are. I looked at him. What now? Now we figure out how to actually be married. Really married. Not just for the contract. I don't know how to do this, I admitted. I've never been good at the relationship thing. Me neither. But we can learn. Together. Like and subscribe if you're invested in this story. And drop a comment telling me your favorite moments so far. Because the next part changes everything. Again. Week 4 brought normalcy. Domestic bliss even. Dante and I moved into the same bedroom. The kids were thrilled. Does this mean you're really married now? Maya asked, her eyes wide. Yes, I said. Really married. Good. She hugged me. Because I like Phoenix and I want him to be my real brother. Phoenix showed his tablet. Asterisk, she's already my real sister. Now it's official. Asterisk. My chest felt tight with love. But on day 23, everything shattered. I was in the lab when the doorbell rang. Dante was at the office. The kids were at school. I opened the door to find Sienna. She looked terrible. Thin. Tired. Desperate. Adrian, she said. Please. I need to talk to you. Every instinct screamed to slam the door. But some old loyalty, some memory of friendship, made me hesitate. You have 5 minutes, I said coldly. She stepped inside. I know you hate me. You have every right. I destroyed our friendship. I stole Jackson. I hurt you and Maya. If you're here for forgiveness, I'm here to warn you. Her eyes were desperate. Jackson is planning something. He's going to file for custody. Of both kids. The world stopped. What? He found out about the marriage. About you and Dante raising Phoenix and Maya together. And he's claiming parental rights. Says Dante stole his son and now his daughter. Maya doesn't know him. Phoenix barely remembers him. I know. But he has rights. Biological rights. And he's going to fight. She swallowed D. Adrian, he's going to win. The courts favor biological parents. Especially fathers who claim they were denied access. You're lying. I wish I was. She pulled out papers. Court documents. Custody filings. All dated, all official. I felt sick. Why are you telling me this? Because I was wrong. About everything. About Jackson, about abandoning Phoenix, about choosing a man over my child. And now I have to watch Phoenix be happy with you while I have nothing. Her voice broke. I don't deserve forgiveness. But Phoenix deserves protection from Jackson. And so does Maya. I stared at the documents. When does he file? Next week. He's gathering evidence. Photos of you and Dante. Claims you're unfit because of the arranged marriage. That Dante is dangerous because of his connections. The past. Jackson knew about Dante's past. Get out, I said quietly. Adrian, you warned me. Now leave. I need to think. She nodded and left. I stood there holding documents that could destroy everything. When Dante came home, I showed him. Watched his face go hard. He's not taking our children, Dante said, his voice deadly. He has biological rights. I don't care. He pulled out his phone. Made a call. I need everything you have on Jackson Reed. Financial records, communications, everything. I want to know every secret he's ever buried. He hung up, looked at me. I'm going to ruin him, Dante said simply. By the time I'm done, he won't be able to claim custody of a houseplant. Dante, we can't. Can't what? Protect our kids? Watch our backs while he comes for them. His jaw was tight. I've spent my entire life learning how to destroy people, Adrian. And I'm going to use every single skill to bury Jackson so deep he never sees daylight again. This isn't who you are anymore, I said. You left that life behind. No, I just chose better targets. His eyes met mine. He wants a war? He'll get one. But he's going to lose. Drop a comment. Is Dante going too far, or is Jackson getting exactly what he deserves? Like and subscribe if you want to see what happens next. The evidence came in waves. Jackson's gambling debts. His multiple affairs. His connection to illegal pharmaceutical trials that had killed 3 patients. This is enough, Dante's lawyer said. More than enough. We file countersuits. Seek restraining orders. He'll never see the inside of a courtroom. But I felt sick. This isn't right. Dante looked at me. What? Destroying him? It makes us just as bad. He's trying to take our children. I know. But Phoenix and Maya will grow up knowing we buried their biological father. What does that teach them? Dante was quiet for a long moment. What do you want to do? I want to beat him legally. Fairly. I want to show our kids that you don't have to become a monster to fight monsters. Even if it means we might lose? We won't lose. I held up the documents. Because we have something he doesn't. We have the truth. And we have love. Real love for our kids. That's going to matter more than any dirt we dig up. Dante studied me. Then slowly he smiled. You're a better person than I am. No, I'm just tired of fighting dirty. I want our kids to see us take the high road. Okay. He pulled me close. We do it your way. But if he comes for them, then we bury him. Together. The custody hearing was 3 weeks later. Jackson showed up in an expensive suit, flanked by lawyers. We showed up with our kids. Both of them. United. The judge looked at the case files. At Jackson's claim of denied parental rights. Mr. Reed, the judge said, you're claiming you want to be involved in your children's lives? Yes, Your Honor. I made mistakes, but I want to make them right. You abandoned your pregnant fiancé 3 years ago. You denied paternity of the child your affair partner bore. You refused all contact for years. The judge looked at him coldly. And now that your children are in a stable, loving home, you want custody? I've changed. Have you paid child support for Maya? Silence. Have you attempted any contact with Phoenix in the 2 years since you learned of his paternity? More silence. I see no evidence of changed behavior. Only opportunistic attempts to disrupt a functioning family. The judge looked at us. Mr. Cross, Dr. Morrison, your home study is exemplary. Your children are thriving. The bond between them is clear. Phoenix held up his tablet. The judge paused. The child would like to speak? Phoenix nodded. typed carefully. Dante read it aloud. Jackson is not my father. Dante is my father. He reads to me every night. He learns sign language for me. He loves me even when I can't talk. Jackson left me. Dante stayed. The courtroom was silent. Maya raised her hand. I want to say something too. The judge nodded. My papa says everyone deserves a chance to be better, Maya said carefully. But Jackson already had his chance. He had it when I was a baby and he said no. Now I have a real family. I have Papa and Dante and Phoenix. And I don't need someone who didn't want me before just because he wants me now. If this doesn't hit you right in the feels, check your pulse. Like, subscribe and comment below with your reaction. The judge ruled in our favor. Full custody retained. Jackson was allowed supervised visitation if the children chose to pursue it. They didn't. Outside the courthouse, Jackson stood alone. Sienna had left him the week before, apparently unable to watch him try to destroy the children she'd abandoned. I should have felt triumphant. Instead, I just felt sad. He's going to die alone, I said to Dante. That's his choice. Is it? Or did we all fail him somehow? Dante pulled me close. You can't save everyone, Adrian. Some people are determined to destroy themselves. I just don't want Phoenix and Maya to turn out like him. They won't. Dante kissed my temple. Because they have us. And we're going to love them so fiercely they never doubt their worth. 6 months later, Phoenix spoke. It was a Tuesday. We were having dinner. Maya was telling some elaborate story about a dragon at school. Phoenix laughed. And then, quietly, so quietly I almost missed it. That's silly. Everyone froze. Phoenix. Dante's voice shook. Did you just? Maya's story is silly, Phoenix said, louder this time. His voice was rusty from disuse but clear. Dragons don't go to school. Maya shrieked and tackled him in a hug. You talked. You talked, you talked, you talked. Phoenix hugged her back, laughing. I've been trying. The words just came. Dante was crying. Actually crying. When? How? It's been getting easier, Phoenix said, looking at his dad. And me. Since we became a real family. Since I felt safe. The words were always there. I just couldn't find them before. I was crying too. We all were. I love you, Dad, Phoenix said. And I love you, Adrian. You're my real parents. Not because of biology. Because you chose me. Subscribe, like, and comment if you're crying right now because I am absolutely destroyed. 1 year after the wedding, we renewed our vows. Real ones. Not for contracts or families or business. For love. Phoenix and Maya walked us both down the aisle. Do you take this alpha as your husband? The officiant asked. I looked at Dante. At this man who'd built me a lab, protected our children, learned sign language, and stood by me through everything. I do, I said. I really, really do. Do you take this Omega as your husband? Dante looked at me with eyes that weren't empty anymore. They were full of life, love, hope. I do. Forever. We kissed. The kids cheered. And somewhere in the crowd, I saw Sienna watching. She looked sad, wistful. After the ceremony, she approached carefully. Congratulations, she said quietly. You're good for each other. Good for the kids. Sienna, I don't want forgiveness. I just wanted to say I'm glad Phoenix has you. Both of you. He deserves what you're giving him. Do you want to see him? I asked. Supervised. Occasional. If he wants it. She looked shocked. You'd allow that? He deserves to make his own choices about relationships. Even complicated ones. I glanced at Dante. He nodded. If Phoenix wants to know his birth mother, we won't stop him. I don't deserve that kindness. No, I agreed. But maybe that's the point of kindness. It's not about deserving. 3 years later, our second daughter was born. Harper. Phoenix and Maya fought over who got to hold her first. She's ours, Maya declared. Our whole family's baby. Phoenix nodded. I'm going to teach her coding when she's old enough. I'm going to teach her how to be loud, Maya said. Dante and I just watched them. Our blended, complicated, perfect family. Did you ever imagine this? I asked him. When you signed that contract? No, he admitted. I imagined a business arrangement. Cold. Professional. Not this. This. Love. Real love. The kind that heals instead of hurts. I leaned into him, felt the bond between us, stronger than ever. Thank you, I whispered. For what? For trying. For 6 weeks that turned into forever. For being the kind of alpha who builds labs and learns sign language and loves broken things. You were never broken, Dante said. You were just waiting for someone to see you properly. We sat there watching our children, watching our newest daughter sleep. And I realized something. I'd signed a contract expecting a prison sentence. Instead, I'd found home. The end. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this story. If you enjoyed Adrian and Dante's journey, smash that like button, hit subscribe so you don't miss my next story, and drop a comment telling me your favorite moment. Was it Phoenix speaking? The custody battle? The unexpected reveals about Jackson and Sienna? Let me know what hit you hardest. I've got more emotionally devastating stories coming that are going to wreck you in the best way possible. See you in the next one.